Hi. Today we're going to be talking about accessing those controls that adjust the light that's coming into your camera. The last few sessions we've been talking about ISO, aperture, and also shutter speed, three ways of controlling that light that's coming in. Today we're going to talk about how to access those and to be able to use them to your advantage. Now, if you're using a point and shoot or perhaps one of the bridge cameras, your control points might be within a menu system, such as this one example. But for today, I'm going to be using just the dial on a DSLR camera for simplicity of the explanations. On most cameras, you're going to find that they have a green square or circle or something that indicates total automatic. And in this case, the camera is going to do everything for you. And indeed, a lot of people shoot this way, and then they're not happy with the results. That's why we've been looking into these various methods of controlling the results that you get. If you move your camera dial over to the P, which stands for programmed, then you set your ISO, but your aperture and your shutter speed will be set automatically for you. And in many cases, this might work just fine. And most often I start here to see whether or not I got the results that I want. And if I didn't, then I will adjust further with some of these other controls. Your A, or perhaps AV, depending on the type of camera that you're using, stands for aperture or aperture value. This is going to control your depth of field. Now, if you're looking to stop action or perhaps to slow things down, you'll be using your T or TV, which stands for time valued, and this is your shutter speed. Some cameras have it labeled as S. And then there's manual. And when you set your camera on M, then you can adjust all of these individually. Now, the trick to being able to set all of these correctly to give you the right exposure lies in watching that exposure meter that you'll find in your viewfinder towards the bottom, and it looks a lot like this example. If you have that bottom arrow pointed right towards the center, that's the desirable place, you can be certain that your photo is going to be in pretty good exposure range. Now, this isn't always going to be the exposure that you want. So again, by watching this exposure meter, you can adjust either up or down to get that exposure, and you have a way of gauging just exactly how much of an exposure change you're making. So my tip for today is for you to get very comfortable using your camera, whether it's a dial on the top of your DSLR or whether it's the menu system, so that you can adjust your camera quickly to get the photo that you're looking for using your ISO, your aperture, or your shutter speed to bring out the very best in your subject.